thank you all for everything you guys have done and your patience and helping me to learn how to do all this stuff for the first time as a head coach in college. Just to kind of give you an overview of the preseason up till now. We started on January 3rd, and so probably about 40 days of practice. In that 40 days, we've had 12 inter-squad scrimmages, full length, 7 innings, kept batting average statistics, and I try to foster a culture of competition. I want to see the kids compete. Nothing's given. I mean, we came in, didn't know the kids, didn't know the players, so we've kept the batting averages, kept the pitching ERA and statistics. You basically run it like a mini season, and so we come up with basically what we think will be our starting lineup, down to about 10 or 11 kids throughout the weekend. And practices have been really competitive. The inter-squad very evenly matched. There's been several games where the second team beat the first team, and the first team's changed throughout that 30-day period, but now it's beginning to get more stable. And so we use those averages to come up with a starting 9. I always say I want my best 9 to be my best 9 hitters, with the exception of shortstop and catcher. And so at those two positions, we'll go by the best defensive player with consideration given to offense. But every other position I look at as an offensive position, and we'll go with the kids that are producing the best offensively. I think our season's been very productive. The kids have bought in good. Our culture is really healthy. Kids are really came together and unified. Have very good leadership with our upperclassmen in Kelly Martinez and Lexi Como and Kylie Jo Trahan. They've all been really, really good leaders. Kara Grimion's another one. I feel like our team is ready to play. I feel like we need to play. We need to get out and play another team and see what it looks like against outside competition. So I think that's where we're at. We're pretty healthy after the preseason. We've got the normal sore arm here, sore shoulder there, but overall I think we're extremely healthy for this time of year.
Coach, what are the positions that will probably see the most movement in these first couple of weeks, just to kind of figure out what you have, or for whatever reason?
I would say right field, second base, and catcher. Well, obviously injuries are the biggest concern. We're going to be trying to take care of a little bit of soreness at a couple spots there that I mentioned. And then, that's where we really had a lot of competition at those 3 spots.
Can you just go through the lineup? I know you said it's about 10 or 11 girls who started at each spot, and then in the spots that there are competition, who's in the competition there?
Yeah, I'll give you kind of an overview of how I think it'll be real quick. I think we'll start off with some speed at the top of the order. We'll have 2 lineups. One will be a speed lineup and one will be a power lineup. But when we do our speed lineup, which is how I think we'll start Thursday night, we'll go with Kelly Martinez leading off. And probably the surprise of our whole preseason has been Ariel Mass. She led our team in hitting this spring with a hit over 400 in our 12 preseason scrimmages. And she'll be batting second in the order. Most likely will be in center field, could be in right field. And then behind them, we'll have our 3, 4, 5 hitters, Lissa Dalton, Beth Ashley, Kara Grimion. They'll all be a factor right in there. And then behind those 3, I would expect to see Brittany Holland, who's had an outstanding preseason for us. Courtney Grimion is I believe, our second leading hitter, the third leading hitter this spring. Had a really, really good last week and a half of practice. So you'll see those kids right in behind, along with JoJo Rito and Cassidy Shomo, a couple of really talented freshmen that are doing well in our squads.
And then as far as the pitching rotation, what do you expect there?
We're still looking at that. We're going to make a game day decision on the day of the game, and we're trying to decide how we want to handle. We have 4 days of competition, and so most likely we're going to start someone that we feel like could give us 4 straight days. If we're, we may wait till the doubleheader days to bring out our older, more experienced players. It might be a good day to give one of our young kids, get them out there and let them feel the atmosphere on Thursday night. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a freshman start that night.
What do you think going into this first week would be maybe the biggest challenge or the biggest unknown that will be known once the week is done for you debuting as a head coach?
You know, I think that the most exciting part, most exciting unknown is who's going to emerge as our number one pitcher. I expect to see 4 pitchers start this weekend, start games. Kylie Joe, Trahan, Summer Ellison, Casey Dixon, and Carrie Boswell. And so I think to see who of those 4 emerge to become our leader or which 2 emerge to become our 1A and 1B, I think that's probably the most exciting and important answer to our regular season success.
Is there anything coaching-wise that you're anxious about to see how it works?
You know, as a coach, I'm really just interested to see how they step out on the field and perform. Obviously, it was a very different type of preseason, and we didn't have a normal fall, and we didn't have a fall. So I think I'm apprehensive and excited to see how the kids actually perform on game day and on this first weekend. And obviously, we hope we made the right decisions and had the right preparation plan while trying to find out who our best players and our best competitors are. So for me personally, that would probably be the most apprehensive part.
Coach, what's it been like kind of being able to lead this group through, I know it wasn't really a regular fall practices, but through the winter and things like that? What's your experience been like so far?
Yeah, well, it was really unique because, like, to start out with, we had numbers on there. We had them wearing our uniform jerseys, and we was carrying around the roster sheet in our hand, so we knew who number 17 was or number 22 was, and just trying to get familiar with our kids. And so we went from there on January 3rd to now a month later, having to really – we feel like we've got a pretty good feel for our team. I think we've got a good feel for who our toughest, most hard-nosed competitors are. And, now we'll see, like, when the lights get bright and the crowd gets loud, we'll find out that final stage of who can still perform at the highest levels.
Coach, if you get multiple pitchers that do well, in your mind, is it optimum for you to have 2 conference starters in a 3-game conference series down the road, or 3 conference starters in a 3-game series down the road?
Optimum for me would be 3. I would absolutely love to be able to go 1, 2, 3. And I think that at this point in the season, I guess we always do that, but I really feel like that's a strong possibility with this group.
How long, sometimes, a girl can do nothing the first weekend and end up hitting 400. I mean,
Absolutely.
How long does it take before you start to say, well, this is what I've got from your past experiences with judging hitters in the first few weeks?
I've always said you've got to have 30 at-bats to really judge a hitter. So 30 at-bats would be 8 to 10 games. And, some hitters may not get 30 at-bats for the first 15 or 20 games. But after 30 at-bats, I think you start to get a real feel for what the hitter's going to do and what you can expect out of them.
You may have mentioned it in the lineup question, especially you mentioned some of the top hitters. Who's been the biggest maybe surprise to you? I know it was kind of a clean slate with everyone, but who's the biggest surprise to you in this preseason?
The 2 most pleasant surprises to us has been Ariel Mass, a little outfielder who's a triple threat. She can bunt, she can slap, she can hit for power. And then Courtney Grimion has been really good. And Cassidy Shomo has also been outstanding, a freshman.
Is she going to likely start in right, or that's too early?
Either Cassidy will start the majority of the games this weekend. I would expect to start a minimum of 4 or 5 games out of 6, if not all 6. And she'll start both probably in right field and center field at some point over the weekend.
Is there any scouting that you do of opponents in an opening weekend, or is it more just focusing on yourselves and improving yourself?
Yeah, definitely more on ourselves, although, we're printed out all the preseason write-ups and stuff that like you're preparing right now on us. We're trying to gather as much as we can to have a feel for our opponent. We've looked at last year's statistics, try to get familiar with our pitchers, the new pitchers that's coming in, the freshmen. We've called their travel coaches and their hot previous people that we can get a scouting report on, just to try to get a feel for who we're playing. But very limited at this time of year. So your focus is definitely 80% on your team and 20% on the opponent, I would guess.